Hello, class. I'm gonna go over your essay. So here's your directions. It's posted at Moto. 3 things you need: the child labor readings, right there, child labor essay guide, which I'm going over right now, and this is the last thing here I'll go over in a second. So if you click on the child labor essay guide, it will take you to this. It's going to give you some directions about what we did in class. So this essay, it's set up like a DBQ. I decided it's not going to be a persuasive essay. It's going to be what we call an expository essay, right? So it's going to be facts, not opinion. So these are the documents. Documents 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And when you pull quotes from these documents, make sure you reference them like you would in the DBQ. So if you use a quote from the Edward Potter testimony, at the end of the quote, insert document 2, just like that. Okay? So you need to use all 5 documents in your essay in order to get full credit. And let's go through. So first thing you're going to do, you're going to finish your pros and cons chart for the 5 characters. Okay? And that chart should include your point of view. Here's a couple of point of view examples. These are for William Drury. The last one. You can use them if you want. Alright, here's the actual essay. What you're going to be doing: writing a 2 to 3 page essay, 4 paragraphs, describing the existence of child labor in the early 1800s. You will not, I repeat, not be taken aside. Instead, spelling errors, you will be presenting both sides of the case for and against child labor. Basic requirements: 2 to 3 pages, times, proper heading, single space, creative title. Alright, when I say 2 to 3 pages, please don't turn in paper 1.5 pages, and please don't turn in paper 3.5. I mean somewhere just over 2 and just under 3. Excellent. I'm going to walk you through paragraph by paragraph. So the way you start your essay, the introduction, and this is your outline here. You need to follow this outline. You got a setting and background. I think you could do it in as few as 3 sentences if you do a great job of summarizing the Industrial Revolution, or if you need to be a little more wordy, it might take 7 sentences. But what this is a brief summary of the Industrial Revolution. Think big ideas and big pictures. You can use your outline that was homework and the A, B, C, D, E, and F to help you from class. So our notes about the Industrial Revolution, A through F. Then, after you've introduced the setting and background, then you want to introduce the idea of child labor in both sides of the situation. So acknowledge the fact that in the 1840s, child labor was legal, and also acknowledge the fact that there are arguments for and against it. And then you're going to put your thesis in. So your thesis is 1 claim for child labor and 1 claim against child labor. So here's a thesis frame. This is helpful. I want you to use this. Child labor as a legal practice in England was being challenged in the mid-1800s because, and then your claim, X. However, many people did not see child labor as negative practice because it, and then your claim, Y. So this is almost like what I want you to do for the DBQ, and the long essay is just modified. So instead of 3 points, X, Y, and Z, you got 2 main points. And that means it's a 4-paragraph essay instead of a 5-paragraph essay. So that's the intro. Here's your body. A couple of points before we get into the body paragraphs. Somewhere within the 2 body paragraphs, so we'll get to those in a second, but somewhere within those you need to include these 2 things to get a point for your DBQ. Contextualization, which means that in addition to what is required below, you need to include, I don't like that, I mean what is required below, but you already know that. You need to include multiple sentences that demonstrate your understanding of what is going on during this time period. Refer to the C, D, and E or F of the notes we took in class. So that's colonialism, democratic government, economic system, or factories, and all that. And explain one of these major ideas somewhere within your body paragraphs. So this brings in the context of the time period, and that's something that the graders are going to be looking for on your DBQ to get credit. You also need to bring in evidence beyond the documents, and that's when we cite an outside source. So I've given you an outside source that you need to read. that's the Tocqueville. So this guy was a contemporary writer during the 1840s. What is this? Wow, cool. All right. Word Online. It's like Microsoft competing with Google. I've never used this. Document 20.1. This is Tocqueville's ideas about privileges of wealth. So you're going to read through this. And you might need to do a little research on Tocqueville. No, actually you don't. Okay, I'm just going to tell you that all you need to do is reference this document. And for this one, 20.1 and 20.2, I'm going to have you do a really short analysis. So we use this HIPS. Listen closely. You're just going to do the H, the historical context for both documents. The I. Nope, don't even do the I. You're going to do the H, the P, the purpose, and then you're going to jump to this, one sentence summary. So for these two documents, Tocqueville, document 20.1, you need to do the H, historical context after reading that, the P, the purpose, and then write a one sentence summary. Same thing for this document 20.2, H, P, one sentence summary. And that's all you do for these two documents. The reason you're going to do that is because you need to reference a document to get the point in your DBQ in your long essay. And we're just going to use this document. So after you've read those, you have an understanding and you can use them in your essay. I said it would be easiest to include his ideas somewhere within your second paragraph because child labor could be seen as another one of the ills of the Industrial Revolution. And I'll just tell you, Tocqueville was against the Industrial Revolution, so he points out a lot of the negative things, and the child labor could be considered another negative thing, and that's paragraph 2. Here's a helpful sentence frame. Yes, you may use it. So you need to insert that idea about Tocqueville in the sentence frame somewhere within paragraph 2 where it makes sense. I'm sorry, paragraph 2. So that's body paragraph 1. And that's going to confuse you. All right. So that's paragraph 2. For paragraphs 2 and 3, I've given you this helpful structure here. Make sure you follow it. And then for your conclusion paragraph here, paragraph 4, I've given you some structure that you need to use. And then this is where you get your synthesis point. So at the end, you need to relate what's happening here in your essay, Child Labor, the Industrial Revolution, with some earlier theme in history, a major theme from a previous unit of study. If you have any questions about this, please come in Tuesday afternoon. I will be available from 3 to 4. And let me just remind you, this is what to do, okay? So you got your chart for the pros and cons for child labor. And then you've got your Tocqueville readings. So the two primary source documents that are attached here. Okay, you just need to remember the H, the P, and a one sentence summary. And then your essay is due. So those are the things that are due on Wednesday. Monday's a holiday, and that is that. All right, so if you need any help, I'll be around Tuesday all day. Come see me whenever, and I'm looking forward to reading your essays. Okay, final word. This is DBQ practice. It's very helpful, but make sure you follow the structure and do the things that are going to get you the points in the DBQ. So that's why I set it up the way I did, including the things that will get you the points for the DBQ. All right, have a good weekend. Ciao.